Hello, this is the Fab Critic, and welcome to my channel, the place where you can find honest reviews on today's media from an amateur critic. Be sure to like, comment, and subscribe, and let's hop in today's video. Today, we will be covering episodes 6 through 10 of The King's Affection. Episodes 1 through 5 have been covered in a previous video, and I'll be sure to link that video so you can catch up with the rest of us. Episode 6 through 10 was a roller coaster of emotions. We first started off ready to whoop somebody's ass. Then we wish we had a cuddle buddy, someone to tell us our ass is getting fatter, and to look at us the way the royal tutor did towards the crown prince. Smells like love in the air. But before we dive into those feelings, let's go over a quick recap. The emperor sends the chief of eunuch and minister of rights to do a wellness check and report back their findings. During this time, Lord Sang, the crown prince's grandfather, decides to strike a deal with the chief of eunuch to help strengthen Lord Sang's power within the palace wall. The king is aware and starts plotting his counterattack. Feelings between the crown prince and the royal tutor intensifies when a few kisses are shared between the two. Yoon realizes the crown prince has feelings for someone else. The crown prince's bodyguard is now on the king's radar once it is brought to the king's attention about the suspicious activities the bodyguard is involved in. There is currently a search going on for possible wife candidates for the crown prince now that the crown prince has agreed to marriage. The royal tutor has resigned from his position as being the main tutorer for the crown prince. And that is it for our quick recap. The enemy list hasn't really changed since my last video. The chief of eunuch is in the middle as he was able to redeem himself, but not everyone else took that chance. Now it's time to give out the piece of shit award. This award is usually given to a person or people who we cannot stand, someone who you see and immediately get annoyed with. This is typically a person who you would like to beat their ass on sight. And the winner of the piece of shit award goes to the crown prince's uncle. This man basically earned this award. Every scene he was in, he was just out here acting a fool and taking shit too far. His ego is bigger than his family of jewels and royal status will ever be. It's clear his desire to be powerful and respected is what drives him into delusion. Give it up to him, y'all. Anywho, I decided to create a new award to acknowledge those who have proven themselves to be useful and to stand on business when it matters, the MVP award. And the winner of this award is Yoon. Yoon, the past couple of episodes, showed us why he's respected and holds a prestigious role. Because Sir was standing on business, and I mean big business. It was actually nice to see. He comes off as friendly, respectable, and nice, but the minute you disrespect the crown prince, he's on your ass. And he does it so politely too. Like he's cussing you out but without swearing and a big old smile on his face. Imagine what he looks like when he's really mad. He's not one to be played with. Now that the awards have been given out, let's discuss episodes 6 through 10. Like I mentioned, episodes 6 through 10, you're on a roller coaster of emotions. In the beginning, we meet the chief of eunuch. He already came in with bad energy, a chip on his shoulder, and just was distasteful. One thing I cannot stand is people who are disrespectful for no reason. Like you didn't do anything to them and they are just nasty to you. Those people I try not to take personally because I know karma will be checking in on them soon. And I mean soon. Anywho, the chief of eunuch was able to redeem himself because we find out why he was so disrespectful to begin with. It was from trauma he experienced as a child and in his adult life. Trauma that the crown prince did not have anything to do with directly. However, the system and the society he was a part of did. A quick preach session from Fab. When I watched this scene, it reminded me of this is our reality in the world. A good chunk of us have experienced some trauma in our lives, and because of this trauma, we unleash anger and emotions on people who had nothing to do with it, when that's not fair to them or ourselves because we are showing up as a bad version of ourselves due to the trauma we've experienced. Us doing this can have a negative impact on the person or people we encounter, and potentially cause them trauma as well, repeating a cycle. Hurt people, hurting people. If possible, be kinder to yourself and to others. We all deserve to live a life without trauma. Didn't mean to get all preachy on you guys, but that scene really touched me, and I thought it was something that should be covered or re emphasized, if not already. With that being said, you kind of felt sad for the chief of Eunuch, but that does not excuse his actions of being a piece of shit. But he's now a reformed piece of shit. Hopefully, I don't have to eat my words as the show continues. Side note, okay, let's talk about it. The battle between the chief eunuch's bodyguard and the crown prince's bodyguard. If I'm being honest, I was not impressed. Not at all. From what was said about the crown prince's bodyguard, we hear that he's a skilled fighter. He's recognized as being one of the best. He was the chosen one. All this stuff. And when it was time to fight, it had me questioning who were those individuals that voted or said this. Point them out. Point them out. Yeah. Because what were the metrics that were used to determine this? Granted, he could have been holding back to not cause too much attention or suspicion towards himself, but I was looking at their battle like, man, I didn't ask for this shit. The writers could have kept it, and I wouldn't have been sad, deprived, nothing. I would have been cool. However, I'm gonna give him a chance to redeem himself as the show continues, but he only gets one chance because after that performance, sir, that's all I got for you. Moving on, the king, I guess, has balls after all, despite what I said in my previous video, because in episodes 6 through 10, we see he's taking a stand against his father in law after the visit from the chief of eunuch and minister of rights. However, I still don't know if he's a good guy just yet and if he's playing oblivious until it's time for him to strike, like a wolf in sheep's skin. I also didn't like how all of a sudden he wanted to be nice towards the crown prince, talking about how he doesn't want the same thing that happens to the crown prince and he wants him to be happy. You choose a different path, yada 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 yada. We do not care, sir. We got to see a more compassionate side of the king. It was a little weird and shocking to see, and I know the crown prince thought the same thing. Part of me wants the king to keep the same energy he had when he was around his new wife and his new son, acting like the crown prince isn't his kid and continue treating the crown prince like a stepson and an afterthought. That way, if the crown prince decides to kill him off, you won't hear any objections from me. In terms of the crown prince's grandfather, that man is still doing him. Okay? That is one consistent player on our field. That man will continue to do him. All I want to know from this man is what is the ultimate goal? And is it in favor of the crown prince or himself? Is he actually on the crown prince's side and trying to help? Or is he just trying to get all the power for himself? These are some of the questions I have, but they probably will get answered as the show progresses because how he is moving is me, myself, and I, and how he's talking is we, us, our family. Another question I had was, is the royal tutor gay? And I asked this question with no malice and not trying to be comedic for a laugh, but when I think of how quickly he accepted his feelings for the crown prince and how willing he was to risk the chance of what could be, it had me wondering if he was always gay. Then I started to reflect on his interactions with the other women he crossed paths with. All of them did not pique his interest, and he treated them like sisters almost. The only one we didn't see get that platonic reaction from him was Dami. But I also don't really count that because they were kids. Usually we don't count anything we said or did as kids. We all think we're going to marry the new kid we just met, but sometimes it doesn't happen because we have experienced more life and our types changes. For the royal tutor, his eyes and heart still, in a way, belongs to Dami, which is a little concerning because their communication ended when they were kids, and he doesn't have any new information about her whereabouts to confirm if he still loves her the way he did as a kid. Call me a Debbie Downer, but hey, one of us got to be realistic, and clearly it's not going to be the royal tutor. If he's not gay, I thought it was interesting how the writers didn't include a scene of denial or internal struggles that some may associate with coming out. However, I'm well aware this is a lighthearted rom com, so certain topics are loosely talked about. But I was curious because if the royal tutor is actually gay and finds out the crown prince is a woman, how will their dynamic change? You know? Because your sexuality isn't a choice, it is who you are. Also, I think the royal tutor made the right choice to resign because the crown prince was being selfish, talking about how we cannot be together, but I will promote you to a higher position. I know the royal tutor was thinking, like, the higher position I get promoted to puts me in places where I'll possibly see you. Can you imagine constantly seeing the person you love daily and knowing you can't be with them? Like, what? Yeah, I too would head out. Because I think that's kind of controlling on the crown prince's part, if I'm being honest. To wrap up my thoughts, I'm gonna leave with my predictions. Okay, so none of my previous predictions in my last video were proven to be true just yet. There's still a chance. But for the next episodes, I predict the royal tutor finds out the crown prince is a woman on some I was finna head out since I resigned and shit, but I forgot something and ends up walking in on her in her chambers while she is changing, and then boom, the secret is revealed. Okay, that is today's video. I would love to hear your thoughts on the show so far. Be sure to comment, like, and subscribe, and I'll catch you in the next one. Bye.